The NFL doesn't just hide controversial stories, it perfects the art of making them disappear. While 2025 brought obvious scandals like coaching affairs and draft controversies, the league's damage control makes Houdini look amateur. 5 buried stories would shatter every belief fans hold about America's favorite sport. And the most explosive revelation proves the NFL's reputation runs on pure fiction. When controversy strikes, the league performs full-scale memory deletion surgery, 20 years before the NFL's 2025 damage control playbook. The Pentagon notified the Tillman family that Pat Tillman was killed by friendly fire in Afghanistan. The Department of Defense delayed disclosure until weeks after his memorial service. A delay, critics argue, protected the military's image. But the NFL's role exposes something darker. The league accepted nearly $5.4 million in taxpayer dollars between 2011 and 2014 to stage elaborate military tributes for 14 teams. Part of a $6.8 million Department of Defense sports marketing spend since 2012. While the NFL profited from patriotic theater, Tillman himself had become deeply opposed to the Iraq War, confessing to his brother that he thought the conflict was fucking illegal. The league wrapped itself in the flag using a dead soldier's name, a soldier who'd rejected the very war the military was selling. Decades before that settlement, the NFL's concussion cover-up was already perfecting its playbook. High-profile retirements in the early 1990s prompted NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue to establish the NFL-run Mild Traumatic Brain Injury Committee, which beginning in 2003 published research in neurosurgery that heavily downplayed concussion severity and breadth. The league used that journal to publish an unprecedented series of papers, several rejected by peer reviewers and later disavowed by their own authors. Even as the NFL's 2026 settlement processes claims, investigations reveal the firm overseeing payments continues to delay or deny compensation to former players, rejecting claims even after settlement doctors certified them. With $1.5 billion in payouts at stake and an October 2026 trial looming between the NFL and its insurance carriers, evidence may finally expose the league's awareness of head trauma risks and any deliberate concealment efforts. Based on the NFL's $5.4 million in taxpayer dollars for military tributes and their ongoing denial of concussion claims, even after settlement doctors approve them, which scandal bothers you more? Comment your answer below. Now let's explore how the league perfected this playbook decades earlier. But 8 years after Kaepernick's exile began, the NFL's systematic silencing of player dissent continues with surgical precision. As of 2024, Kaepernick still tells reporters, "We've just got to get one of these team owners to open up," despite maintaining peak physical condition throughout his banishment. Eric Reid, the safety who first knelt alongside Kaepernick, faced similar blacklisting before eventually returning to the league, but only after the NFL calculated that his activism had been sufficiently neutered. Meanwhile, when 49ers defensive lineman Nick Bosa appeared in post-game media wearing a Make America Great Again hat in October 2024, violating uniform policies just as Kaepernick had, the league's response was conspicuously muted. Conservative athlete activism faces none of the dehumanization that progressive protesters endure, and athletes supporting social causes consistently see their job market and marketing profile take devastating hits. The NFL's message was crystal clear. Dissent against police brutality destroys careers, but supporting political candidates merely warrants a gentle reminder about uniform codes. The NFL's history with game manipulation reveals far more sophisticated operations than conspiracy theories suggest. Former NFL officiating VP Dean Blandino confirmed that officials have been approached about manipulating games for gambling purposes. We've had situations where people were approached, according to his testimony. But documented incidents pale compared to the league's financial entanglements with betting operators that create systemic conflicts of interest. ESPN licenses its brand to ESPN Bet in a 10-year deal worth $1.5 billion, while the NFL acquired a 10% stake in ESPN in 2025. This creates a web where the league owns part of a company that could soon own part of a sportsbook operator, inching the NFL even closer to the gambling industry. when the league's response to game rigging suspicion isn't transparency, but deeper financial integration with the very industry fueling those suspicions. The profit-first mentality established earlier reaches its logical endpoint. The league doesn't just control narratives, it controls the games themselves. Over $10.6 billion in public funds have been extracted for current NFL stadiums. But 2025 exposed the full machinery of the league's extortion. Kansas City taxpayers committed $1.8 billion, the largest professional sports subsidy ever, for the Chiefs' new stadium. Buffalo and Tennessee faced identical shakedowns. $850 million for the Bills' Highmark Stadium, $2.3 billion for the Titans' construction, with taxpayers absorbing approximately $1.1 billion in interest costs across 20-year bond repayment structures. The pattern completes itself. Manufacture patriotic theater with taxpayer money, silence dissent through systematic blacklisting, manipulate games while partnering with gambling operators, then extract billions more from communities the league claims to serve. Every controversy buried, every narrative controlled, every dollar extracted, all serve the same master. Profit over integrity, control over truth. The NFL's reputation isn't built on performance. It's built on erasure. Subscribe for more buried sports stories and watch this one next. It goes even deeper.